I'm not Starfire. Coming to I Am Not Batman. Do you reckon maybe she'll insert herself into Batman? Fuck. Oh, that was disgusting. Well, ladies and gents, we are seeing the destruction of DC Comics. Well, in fairness, we've seen it for quite some time now. I Am Not Starfire writer Mariko Tamaki is going to be helming Detective Comics now. That's garbage, isn't it? That's garbage. This person, what is the obsession lately with hiring New York Times bestsellers or whatever they're called? That doesn't mean that their work translates very well to comics. Who's this? I'm Not Starfire. I'll leave a video link above, but there's a bit of background. This writer has, and it is the most brazen example of inserting yourself into something I've ever seen. Have they got a picture? This article is linked down below, by the way. Here we go. Pretty apparent that that little lady there is this, isn't it? Is this woman here? Let's be honest. So that's what she's done, and it's not even out yet, as far as I'm aware, or it's just been released. So they don't have the data. They don't know that people like it. But DC has this bizarre obsession with hiring New York Times bestsellers. And that was fine because it was more... Look, it was a case of like a what if, right? It didn't affect canon. It was just a piece of crap story that we could all take a look at and have a good laugh at. This seemingly will affect more and more. Not massively affecting canon, but it's one step away from it. So I'm Not Starfire writer Mariko Tamaki is going to be helming Detective Comics. So obviously CCXP Worlds Expo happened on Sunday, which a lot of people were really annoyed about the Godzilla vs. Kong footage. They never said they were going to show you a trailer, calm down. But DC also announced that I Am Starfire writer Mariko Tamaki will be the next writer on Detective Comics following the conclusion of the Future State event. Why? Why? Go away. You jump in the gun, even just from a pure business move, right? Let's just look at it objectively. Business move. You've hired this individual. Let's see if she proves profitable. Yeah? No! Not according to DC. Let's just go balls to the wall. And no wonder DC are just falling apart. That's why. Because this person doesn't write comics for their core audience. Writes comics for new people. And that's fine. That's not inherently bad. But those people don't want to read comics. They want to read the young adult novels that this person became successful. Announced during the DC Future State Batman panel, the core Detective Comics book will be helmed by Tamaki and Go-Go Power Rangers artist Dan Mora. Good artist, in fairness. The same team behind the Future State Dark Detective Limited series. Now, this will not be Tamaki's first foray into the Batman property, having written the Harley Quinn graphic novel Breaking Glass, and in a team-up with Mora, the story The Gift, which was featured on the 1000th anniversary issue of Detective Comics, number 1027. But I just think, what are you doing? And you think to yourself, what are they doing? And then you answer this. This is the answer. DC's announcement was heralded as a historic moment for female writers, with many touting Tamaki's role as a historic moment, as she is now only the second female author to write a core Batman title and the first to write one long term. Now that is because someone will look at that and go, well, that's terrible. Why is she only the second and why she's only the first? That's awful. Blah 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 blah. But again, it might not have been like there's so many nuanced explanations as to why someone might not have been chosen in the past. So yeah, it's fine that there is one now, absolutely. But if you're doing this purely to right what you perceive as a wrong, well, that's bad, isn't it? Surely you should be hired on merit, but no, apparently not. Prior to Tamaki's assignment, the appropriately named Devin Grayson penned nearly 30 issues of the 2000 series Batman Gotham Knights, though her appearance on the book were periodic rather than continual. Which is, again, fine. Tamaki is also the author of I Am Not Starfire, the now infamous young adult graphic novel featuring Starfire's goth, lesbian and body positive daughter that has drawn the ire of fans and creatives across the board. Best-selling and award-winning writer John Del Arroz described this critical social justice theory-based take on the orange-skinned Titan's future as an example of the amount of lack of respect these corporate executives have for you. I would say that about sums it up. Because they don't care, they're not interested, but we knew that anyway, they're only interested in the money. But that's what baffles me, because yeah, we know they're only interested in the money, but so why are you hiring this person again? God damn. They're also trying to force this on their main books, and this is exactly how they progress things, he continued. They test things out, they don't care if it sells or doesn't, and then they force it on the main books to get this new audience they're not going to get. And that's the thing. Who from that audience is now going to be buying this? No one. What are you doing? You serve this move only serves to disengage long-term fans. They're not going to be happy about this. They're going to look at it and go, well, that's dumb. What are you doing? He further pointed out how they're also trying to force this on their main books, and this is exactly how they progress things. They test things out. Oh, they've literally just done exactly the same thing. Should probably double check that, bounding into comics. And like I say, this is self-inserting at its most blatant. De La Rose also took issue with DC's promotion of Tamaki as the first long-term Batman writer, arguing that once a company begins to observe SJW hiring practices, you can't really replicate it again and have the first whatever at DC Comics. Yep. The creative team's historic importance was never the selling point prior to this recent shift in culture, De La Rose observed. He then recalled how books such as Detective Comics were once praised for having decent storytellers and lamented how it has turned to celebrating stunning authors for writing specific characters. That's the thing, is that ultimately, and you get this across the board, right? With any company nowadays, most companies anyway, is that they'll go, oh, we broke the record for the first blah, 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 female doing blah, blah, blah within our company. And you're like, okay, what's flapping between their legs got to do with anything? Why is that appealing to me as a consumer? I don't, like, I've seen this advert, right? And I don't know why it's on, basically, because I guess it's football season. But anyway, there's this football season, Barclays in the UK is a bank. And in the UK, there's these adverts promoting the player's sexuality. There's no straight people on there. From what I can tell, there's no trans people on there either. They're just gay. Right? They're either lesbian or gay. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what's that got to do with banking? And what's that got to do with... Because they're football fans. And they're like, oh, you know, whoever's a fan, it's a fan, doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, that's how everyone thinks. No one cares. What are you doing? What's that got to do with banking? Like, that genuinely, that level of just nonsense puts me off Barclays Bank. Not that they're promoting gay or lesbians. Don't care. Could not care less. But the fact that you're sticking your foot in something politically, it's not even, well, social politics anyway, that's just not relevant to what you do as a business. And it makes me worried. Because we do know now, again, there are positive discrimination. Are you going to positively discriminate against people? Are you going to then put me down the peg because I'm a straight white male? Really? Like, this is what goes through my mind when these things happen. Only briefly, only for a second. And then I roll my eyes and go, ugh, switch off the advert. Because it's just garbage. It's trash. It's not informative. It's the same as, it just only serves to disenfranchise people from movements. And it's a shame. Because, again, I, as someone who doesn't care about anything like that, I'm fine with it. But you get someone who's teetering on the edge of bigotry, they're going to go, nah, that's me done now. I hate them. And that's bad. That's real bad. Anyway, whatever. So there you go. Woo! I'm not Starfire. Coming to I Am Not Batman. Do you reckon maybe she'll insert herself into Batman? Fuck. Oh, that was disgusting. Something gross just popped across my mind just there. But you know what I mean, ladies and gents. You see what I'm saying, right? Because, I mean, look, if she's willing to insert herself into Starfire's daughter, pun intended, very very apparently right here, what's she going to do with Batman? Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much. Take care.